Good morning and welcome to One Yard Wednesday. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to One Yard Wednesday. I'm your host, Jody, and I'm here with my amazing producer, Mr. GP. Say hello.
What's up, everybody?
He's looking mighty festive with some fun quilt behind him. Thank you guys for joining us this morning. Just a reminder that all of the products that we show today will be on the website after the show. So you do not have to rush to go and purchase them because these ones will go fast. And we have a really big show today. So yeah, here we go. We're going to start off with the quilts on set. And as we showed earlier, Mr. GP has probably one of the fun quilts, Rainbow Ruth. It's a free pattern, you guys. I picked this one because it reminded me, because we're doing dangerous and it's strippy and it's scrappy and it's a really fun way to use up some of your scraps. And then the one behind me is Quinn. And I picked this one because I am originally, my hometown is out east and right off of the ocean on Long Island. And I love any fabric that is oceany themed. So that's why I picked that one. And Quinn is out of the Stripology Quickies book. I have a question. So my question today is, what is your favorite sewing technique? And when I say favorite sewing technique, I'm talking about traditional piecing, foundation paper piecing, applique, what else do we have? Traditional piecing, we have English paper piecing. And mine isn't technically my favorite, but it's something that I really enjoy doing because it kind of slows me down, and that's foundation paper piecing. You can go ahead and show the picture. So foundation paper piecing is where you actually sew on paper with your fabric. And it's kind of interesting because you sew backwards, which makes no sense, but that's kind of what happens. And so you'll see typically a lot of foundation paper piecing is done when you need very exact, straight points and lines, and it allows you to get that. And I think that's why I really enjoy this technique so much, is that you can get really perfect lines without being perfect, if that makes sense at all. So I usually have at least one foundation paper piecing project going every year. And the reason I have it year long is it takes me that long to do. So it kind of slows me down, it kind of gets me into the groove, and it's something I can pull out and put away, and I don't have to worry about losing pieces and stuff.
Are you working on one right now?
I do. I actually have two going on right now.
Nice.
The one I'm doing currently right now is, I've never purchased like a kit before where I like do everything based on what they picked out. I typically like to do my own thing. So I wanted something I didn't have to think about. So that's why I got the kit. So yeah, that's one thing I'm doing right now.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm excited about it. And we're going to get started because we have a lot of fabric to show you today. So let's go ahead to our featured fabrics. This is our Century Whites, Blacks, and Grays. And these are really great fabrics for backgrounds to have in your stash. I actually did a whole project out of them, which will be kind of fun to show you. So we're going to get started. Some of the white on whites will be really difficult to see. So we will, if you need to see them in like up close, you can go to our website and take a look at it. So the first one is Curvy Line, Century White. I'm actually going to try to show you the design. You can see it kind of. Oh, there we go. So it has kind of this like curvy, what they call an OG pattern on it. So that's our first one. I'm going to make room because we have lots. Our second one is Century White's Hexie. So it kind of has like a little, it's kind of a different hexie. It looks like more of like an oval shape. And these are white on white. So when you see them up here, you're not going to barely be able to see them at all. Put them like this. And then we have a black on black, which is Snowflakes. Give me 2 seconds here. You kind of see these a little bit better. So this has little snowflakes in them. Now, do not worry about the snowflakes because you're going to cut these up and you're not going to see that there are snowflakes in them whatsoever. The next one is the black choppy rectangles. So this is also kind of a black on black. Let me see if I can, you can kind of see those. So the little rectangles in there, and it has like a lighter black and a darker black with some lines. Yeah. Andover. Sorry, Mary. Thank you. And then we have Century Black white squares. So this one you can really see. So we've got the white background with the black squares. The next one is white strokes. So again, we've got white in the background with the black kind of like sketchy or pencil drawing on it. And then the next one is a white on white, and it's called balls. Which, if you can see this, you'll be able to see what we mean. I love white on whites because you can just have a bunch of them in your collection and pull them out when you need them. So this is a white on black called rings. The next one is called ombre stripes. So this has an irregular stripe, which is always great because you don't have to worry about it being straight. And it kind of ombres, so it goes from a light color to a dark color, and the lines itself get really small. So it almost reads like a solid. The next one is hatched stripe. So this is a white on white. And you can see it kind of has like a hatch mark or like a hashtag kind of mark on them. The next one is white waves, since we were talking about the ocean. So now you've got this black and white wavy lines. I love this one. The next one is a black on black, and it's called texture. Weave texture. You can see this. So it has just like a little bit of a texture to it with a lighter, the texture itself is kind of a lighter color charcoal. And then we actually threw some grays in there just because, and this one is called glass gray. This does have a little bit of like a metallic-y look to it. You can kind of see that in there, but it's not a glitter. It's not going to come off. You're not going to get any residue off of that. And then our second gray we have is the herringbone gray. So here you really have a nice herringbone look to it. This one does have, you can see the shiny, more of that metallic-y look to it in the gray. We have another black with, this one actually has the gray lines in it too. This is glass in the black. So it's kind of like it is actually like the gray one, only we have the black background with the gray metallic-y prints on it. I lost my train of thought there. The next one is the checkerboard. So this one has the it has more of a charcoal gray. It's not a black with the metallic lines in it done in a checkerboard. So it looks really cool when you cut it up. And this one is diamonds in black. Again, the background is more of a charcoal-y gray or black. It's not like a black. Make sure I have enough room here. And then we have squiggle lines. This again is a black. This one I would call a black with the gray metallic-y squiggle lines. So you can kind of see how that looks. And last but not least, we have the herringbone. in black with the metallic gray.
I feel like those last two would be a good stripe for like a binding or something too.
Yes, that is a really good point. See, you should be sewing. You know what to do.
Comments keep telling me one of these
That's
days.
right. So here is our black, white, and gray from Andover Fabrics. And I did do a project for you guys. And it's done out of the Stripology book. And so I used every single one of these fabrics in this project. I used the white on whites as my background, and I just kind of made them scrappy. And then I cut up all of the blacks and the grays and pieced them throughout. And because I have to have a pop of color, I used a hot pink because I really wanted this to kind of stand out. So I'm just going to kind of move this along. This is a really fun pattern, and I'll show the pattern to you here in a second.
Looks awesome.
It's very fun. It was very fun to put together. So it's out of the Stripology book, and it's called, I can't remember, sorry, Strippy Rails. Oh, Strip Ribbons. And I did the table runners. So you do have options to do different sizes for this pattern. So Strip Ribbons is the project that I did out of this. Again, you could do a number of things with this. And so I really wanted to, I got some more projects, but first I want to show you a couple colors that go with this. So I actually used the hot pink triangles from our last show in this actual project. So you could, if you purchase that or you want to purchase that, you could use that in here.
The Prisma Elements.
Prisma Elements, yes.
I think it has a fun name. Rad Rhodonite.
Yes, it does. Rad Rhodonite. Not hot pink like I called it. But this one is Scorching Pink Dimples. So you could definitely use this one in there if you wanted a pink. I picked 3 of my kind of favorite colors. Also, you could do Dimples Robin's Egg. So you can actually do an aqua. I like the bright colors because the black and the white really make that stand up off of the actual print. And then, of course, my favorite color is purple, and this is Dark Orchid Dimples. So any of these, and you could use anything. I'm just giving you ideas of what you could do with this. If you wanted to do it all black and gray, you could definitely do that, but I always like to have a little pop of color. So
those will all be on sale as well, right?
Yes, yes, these are all on sale. So it's a great deal to stock up on your basics because you don't see the prices that we have One Yard Wednesdays on. So I picked out 3 projects that I thought would go really well with this. And one of the reasons I picked out Curvaceous is I really wanted to show you guys that with a quilt as you go, you can actually do quilting on top of it. And I thought this was really fun to see this like decorative stitch on top of the actual fabric itself. And it kind of really makes those curves pop out. So if you have a quilt as you go project, don't be afraid to add some quilting to the top of it. It just adds another element to the project. So that is called Curvaceous. Really fun project, super easy. Don't be afraid of the curves. Trust me, it's super easy. The next one is Roxy. And this little Roxy, so this one I picked because it looked really great in like the monochromatic. But you could also take and add pops of color in here if you wanted to. And it would really just change the entire look of it. So this is Little Roxy. And of course, I'm loving these really fast projects nowadays. And then I also picked out Little Kira for the same reason. It looks super great in the monochromatic, but you can also add pops of color to it to really make it stand out. You're welcome, Linda. So this is Little Kira. And then I wanted to add a big one to it, and I thought Taylor would be a quilt that you could use these with. And of course, I love the fact that it's still black, gray, and white, but then there's that pop of red, or you can put pink or yellow or whatever your favorite color is. So those are the the projects I thought would work really well with this fabric. And I have a notion for you guys. So I actually picked a couple things. They're all in the same family. It's the marking tools. And there's no right or wrong marking tool to use. It's actually dependent on what you're doing. So I picked out a few of them that we have to show you. So first and foremost, I would segment this by saying, test any of your marking tools first on a scrap piece of fabric before you go marking up your projects. A lot of people like to use marking tools to draw out their quilting lines, and I would hate to have you guys do that, and then because I've had that happen, and I couldn't get it off. So one of my favorites to use is the friction pen. The friction pen, I actually use the friction pen for several different things. I do use them for marking on my fabric, but I also use them to write on paper, which I love. I will say there's two caveats to the friction pen. It is removed with heat, but on dark fabric, sometimes these can leave a little bit of like a hue or like a outline on the back. So just be really careful what you're using it for. I've also seen comments that if you mark up your quilt and you take it out in the cold, the lines will come back. So I have not tested this yet, but I have seen that across the internet showing that those come back. So I kind of wanted to show you how these work. So I just took a light color fabric and I just draw on it. And so when I take my iron, which I'm not going to do right this second, but it will disappear. There will be nothing left to that line. So I use these a lot when I'm not really worried about whether or not this is going to come back or if there's like a cast left on it. The other one that I have for you is the water-soluble marker by Clover. I've used this one probably the most out of it. It's blue. I think they come in different colors. Purples, I think it's probably really hard to see on here. But this one, all you have to do is spray it with water and it disappears. So that's really nice. Again, make sure you're testing your fabric before you go writing on it. And last, I don't have a sample of this one, but the Soline Styla, this is another one that is water erasable. I like this one because the point is super pointy and you can get really accurate lines, especially when you're going across like a ruler. So that's another water soluble pen. And then we have the chalk ones. So the chalk ones, I will use the chalk ones when I have dark fabric and I need to make a line on there and no other one is going to show up. But the nice part about these Clover ones, there's like a little roller on it. And so if you can hear it, if I'm quiet enough, it kind of rolls on it. So it gives you a really fine line that you can use. And really, that's all you have to do is wipe it off. I feel like this is the least I don't know, like afraid I'm going to use. Basically, I know this is just going to come up and it's not a big deal.
Least risk, maybe?
Yeah, thank you for the word. I lost my train of thought on that. They are also refillable. So once you are done using these, there's a cap on the end that you can it comes off and then you can refill it with it. So we do have, I thought we had a pink one in here somewhere.
I use that one to help training new people with cutting.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Nice little line to follow.
Yeah. So we do have a pink one with the pink chalk. It's the same thing. It's got the roller on the bottom. It's just shaped a little bit different. And so you can actually use that quite a bit. And, you know, I don't know how many people actually wash their quilts when they're done doing it, but it's another great way to get rid of the lines. So that is our marking tools. Are there any questions?
I think people are just saying how much they love these ones. They love the Clover marker, the chalk marker. Here's a good warning.
what did she, if you steam a friction pen, mark it dispersed into the quilt sandwich. Oh, okay. The mark will disperse into the quilt sandwich. Yep, I understand that now. Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of warnings, you guys. So really do your research, test them out. I actually think I use every single one of these marking tools for very different reasons depending on the project that I'm using. So that is my notion for today. So that is a lot. We have a lot we threw out you today, but I'm going to review all the fabric again so that you can make sure that you get a good look at them and the project. So let's do that quick. I'm going to move these over here. And if we go down here, I'll go through these really quickly. We've got the white hex or wavy lines, which is this one right here, which is so hard to see. Let me see if I can. And then we have the hexy, white hexy. These are white on white. So just so you know, you're not going to see these blend in with the background. We also have a snowflake in the black on black. We have the black irregular rectangles or choppy rectangles. I can lift that up. You could kind of see the design in that. Again, you can see these really well on our website. So if you need to kind of make a decision, you can go there. This is the white with the black squares, black on white squares. We also have this white with the black strokes. It kind of looks like pencil marks or like markers if you're drawing on the fabric.
Marking tools.
Yeah. This one is a white on white, so and it has little balls on it. Oh, that's probably not a good way to see it, but. And the other one we have is a white with black rings on there. And then we have this ombre lines, so ombre stripe. This one, actually the stripe, the actual print itself gets more dense and then it gets bigger. So it kind of creates this ombre effect in there. We have a white on white hatched stripe. So it's got these little hatch marks. You could kind of see that. Then we have the white with the black wavy lines. And then this one is a black texture weave, probably one of my favorites. And then we added two gray lines. So we have glassy gray, which is a gray fabric with a gray metallic to it. So you could kind of see that on there. It's not glitter. And then we have a gray herringbone with the actual, this one also has kind of that metallic-y look to it. We have a black glass. This has the gray metallic on it. And then we have the checkerboard in the black. Now this one isn't a true black in the background. It's kind of more of like a charcoal black. And it also has the metallic in it. Again, this one also is kind of like a charcoaly black. It's not a true black like this one is. Diamonds. And then we have a black on black or a black, gray on black with the wavy lines, squiggly lines. This is a metallic. And then we have the black with the metallic or gray herringbone. And then we'll go through the projects really quick. So this one is strip ribbons. So this is the project I made with every one of these. I think there's 19 pieces in here. So I just made it work, so it's super scrappy. And then I added in just a pop of color. So you could use the Prisma Elements Rad Rhodonite. I had to say it. And that's what I used in here. So this was on last week's show. You could go onto the website and it's still there. And then we also have the Dimples Scorching Pink, the Dimples Robin's Egg, and then the Dimples Dark Orchid. I just picked these because this is like kind of my favorite colors and I thought it would really pop out on these projects. And then the projects that I thought would work really well is this one. It's curvaceous. again, with the sew as you go, you can do quilting on the top. So if you've got some fancy designs on your sewing machine, it's a good way to kind of play with that. Then we have Kira, little Kira. This one is great. It's great with the monochromatic, but then you can also add in those pops of color on here. So it's another way to use up some of your scraps. And then we have little Roxy. Great monochromatic. You can also add in some pops of color, and it would really bring out the features of the actual pattern. And then I wanted to give you a larger option, and that is Tailor. Tailor, again, is a great way to add pops of color when you're using blacks and whites and grays. So those are our projects for today. Do you have any questions out there? I know there's a lot going on in the show today, so.
I'm not seeing any questions.
Well, then that means I did a good job explaining everything.
Miss Diane gave us a little tip. Maybe we get one of these for the show.
A white on white is best seen. Oh, the ultraviolet. Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah, that would be smart.
That would be cool. Thank you for that hint. Because it's hard to see. No matter how you do it, it's really hard to see on that. So it's hard to see in person too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that is our show for today. I so appreciate you guys coming and watching us. And we have a lot of really fun shows coming up. We have Happy Friday on Friday, this Friday. And then Tuesday, the Tipsy Tuesday, is our 300th episode. Can you believe that? 300th episode. So you'll want to watch because we might have some really fun things happening that day.
Oh,
and then I will be back next Wednesday.
That's right.
So have a great
April 2nd.
April 2nd. Yep. Thank you so much. April, can you believe it's already April?
It's flying.
Flying by. Anyways, thank you guys. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.